Ready?
Yes, sir.
Let's go. Likkutei Torah Tzav, page 24, first column, in the middle of the first column. Okay, now the Rebbe is again explaining that in Mitzrayim they had it one day. Number one, there was this unbelievable gilui of Rabbi and Evil Imam and Evil Imam for Atmas Yitzov, and it was with Moshe and Aaron. They were able to do it one day. But we need to bring down this Kedusha on the second day. And hello, we're here already. On the second day, for the rest of the weeks, to be Mevarid the 7 Midas. Okay? And then you thought, Bavur Za'as Hashem Li, it says in Mitzrayim that it's Li in the level of Asa, it even comes down into the level of Asiyah.
What could they do in the first day and the second?
No, in Mitzrayim they only had to not eat Chometz one day. We are not allowed to eat Chometz 7 days. Okay, in the middle of the first column of 24. It says in the Pasuk, Vavarti Beretz Mitzrayim, Anivale Malach Olei Sodav. The Pasuk says, I will pass through Mitzrayim. I passed through Mitzrayim, me not in Malach, not as Sodav, not the type of Serafim, Shem Bechinas Biyah, which are the level of Bria Tzir Nasiyah. V'chein Batzios Atma Yesh Bechinas Biyah. Even, we know in Kedusha, everything is composed of each other. So each world has Atzilus, Bria, Yitzir, Nasiyah in it. That means even in Atzilus, besides Atzilus, there's Bria, Yitzir, and Nasiyah. And he explains. Malchus Nikra Asiyah Shabatzilus. Malchus of Atzilus, the lowest level, is called Asiyah of Atzilus. Chagas Ubina Ayitzira. Ubria di Yitzira. The Midas, okay, in other words like this. You have Yud Kei Vav Kei. Yud is Chachma, Hey is Bina, Vav is the 6 fetus, and Hey is Malchus, right? So in each world, there's 4 levels. So therefore, the 4 worlds, in Atzilus, you have Atzilus, Bria, Yitzir, and Asiyah. Asiyah is Malchus, and then Yitzira is the level of the 6 fetus, Bria is the level of Bina, and Chachma is the level of Atzilus. That's what he says, because Malchus comes down to the lower levels. So Malchus is the level of Asiyah. And then you have the 6 fetus. That's the level of Yitzira. Vizel gam kim pirish hanivalei malach. Shamalchus nikra gam kim malach. So it says malach is also the level of Malchus. Alani davka shoydem shochaser abba. Mokar al-chochme shi'atzilis shibatzilis. So in other words, again, just like you have the 4 worlds, and then you have the general 4 worlds, and you have in each world, just like during the week you have Shabbos, during the week you have the week in Shabbos, everything is included in the next. So if you have Yud Kei Vav Kei, just think about it. Yud Kei Vav Kei represents the 4 worlds. Yud is Atzilus, Hey is Bria, Vav is Yitzira, and Hey is Asiyah. Correct? That means, but in every world you have Yud Kei Vav Kei. So what's Yud Kei Vav Kei in the world? In Atzilus, Yud is Chachma of Atzilus, Hey is Bina of Atzilus, Vav is the 6, which is the Bina meaning Bria of Atzilus, Yitzira of Atzilus, and Asiyah of Atzilus. So he says, skip the parentheses, Mitzrayim was the land of Tumah, therefore, why did in Mitzrayim, it had to be Ani v'lo Malach, Ani v'lo Saf. Meaning, it couldn't be the levels of Bria, Yitzir, and Asiyah. Why? Mitzrayim was so much tumah, in order to get out of it, you needed the level of Ani, the ultimate Kedusha. It has to be such a level. The darkness doesn't darken. Which is the level of Chochmah Nabi. In other words, how do you get out of darkness if darkness is already is an entity of darkness? The only way you can get out of darkness is by tapping into a level which is above light and dark. And then you can make the dark into light. But if dark is already an entity, an existence of darkness, then you can't make light into it. So how do you transform Egypt to Kedusha? that even Pari came screaming, get out. Pari himself came and screamed, get out, because that's the level of Kedusha, of where darkness and light are the same thing. And therefore, what had to happen by Pesach Mitzrayim, it had to be Vavait. And in fact, the Rebbe brings down in the Agada that from the Rebbe Rashab, an Evil Imam means Atzmus Earning Sof.
But if someone who's in a darkness, how can he tap to the higher level? Yeah, unless it comes from higher down.
So that's why you need somebody else to bring in a candle. How do you get out of a pit? You can't get out of a pit yourself. The Gemara has a rule: Ein chavish mater satzme. A prisoner cannot free himself. He needs somebody from above to take him out. The question is, what's one of Malach? A Malach is a shliach of Hashem. So why can't a Malach take the Jews out of Egypt? He said, "Malach rak shliach chemiyad tzei biyadi yisbarach." Ach im kol zeh ha'er v'ashefa nimsh chaydei Malach v'shliach himimokeh seder yishtalshus. Now the Rebbe asks and answers the following: L'chayra, if a Malach is a messenger of Hashem and he's completely bottled to Hashem, why can't a Malach take a Jew out of Mitzrayim? And the answer is, a Malach is bottled to Hashem, but only in Ishtalshalis. It's not powerful enough. Yeah, he's bottled to Hashem in the level of world. But in order to get a Jew out of Mitzrayim, you need a level which is out of the world, out of this world, which is the level of Ani.
What about Shluchah Shalom?
So he's saying that the kind of Shliach Shalom Kamesi is only on that level where he's a Shliach of. If somebody makes a Shliach to separate Truma, yeah, he's only a Shliach for that. He's not a Shliach for everything else. If the person says, "It's my Shliach completely," then you're a Shliach for everything. A Malach, why can't a Malach not do two jobs? If a Malach is a Shliach of Hashem, Hashem could do 1,000,000 jobs. Why can a Malach only do one job? Why? Because he's limited as a Shliach in that realm of Shlichus. What?
He's not in his job description.
Correct. A Malach is given a job description, but only in that is he a Shliach. So therefore, what had to be revealed to take the Yidden out of Mitzrayim had to be the level of Ani, a level higher than what? What?
I was just going to say, Hashem felt comfortable for 38 years to leave in the hands of the Malach in the desert. But I guess only Asmos and Malus could bring the Jews out, so...
That's what he's saying, only Atmos and Malus.
Malach is not capable of releasing on Nifal,
Only if Hashem tells it to him.
so they could have done Egypt.
So why is
But they weren't the Mal, they weren't to do Nisim, it could be a little bit higher than, like the one tefach higher than the world. In order to do the Chalev of Chabad is a levcha chochma, a levcha bina, 1,000 chochma, 1,000 bina. That's why the Rabbi explained that by the Alter Rebbe, there's an expression in Yiddish, by the Alter Rebbe ist gewalget Nisim unter den Tisch und keiner sich nicht eingebringt zu aufheben. By the Alter Rebbe's time, there are miracles rolling under the table, and nobody bothered to pick them up. Meaning, it didn't mean anything to them. It's like you drop a little piece on the floor, it doesn't mean anything to you. Because in order to do miracles, you have to be a little bit higher than world.
So
A tefach, and here's 2,000 amas.
why did it have to be Asmos and Malus to bring the Jews out?
Because-
You could have delegated that too.
No, only that level where darkness and light is the same thing, where there is no job description. Job description is a limitation based on the source of limitation. Here we're talking about a level where light and dark is the same exact thing, and therefore there's no difference if the Jews are in darkness or light, because it's a level that's Achim calls that. There's only the level of cause and effect. but in a level higher than worlds, in other words, Malach is an entity which is defined. Some malachim are in Bria, some malachim are in Yetzira, some malachim are in... Okay, if you're limited in Bria, you are defined as an entity of Bria. And that's a limitation. But that limitation is the limitation that can't take the Jews out of Egypt. It has to be a revelation higher than Ishtalshlus that's able to do that. He says, but now we need to understand, and now God it continues like this. That's what the pasuk says. Then the pasuk, Anivale Malach, Anivale Sarif, Anivale Ashliach. These are three worlds, Bria, Tzir, and Nasiya. And then it says, Anihu, Anivale Acher. Me and nobody else. What does that mean? So, in other words, it says like this. Ani, which is Atzilus, right? Chochmah. Then he says, not a Malach, Bria, not a Saraf, which is Yitzira, not a Shliach, which is Asiya. And then it says, Anihu v'loy acher, which means there's another level there that Hashem says, me and not that level. What's the fourth level? So he says, Imkei mihu acher sheyitzrach leiman zeh ani v'loy acher. So who's the acher over here that you have to exclude? We covered all bases already. Bria, Yitzira, and Asiya.
What is the difference between Yosef Mitzrayim and Yitzchak Avinu coming to this world? What?
Huh?
Malach told Sarah that you're going to have Yitzchak.
Right.
So what is the difference?
He was a messenger of Hashem.
That wasn't Nisim and Niflaot, and so is this.
There was not the same level of taking out from 49 levels of Tumah to Kedusha.
So this one is
Infinitely greater than the latest Yitzchak. It was a miracle that Avram had a baby. It's not the same miracle as Yetzias Mitzrayim.
This is much higher.
Of course it's much higher. It is. But he's saying here they're bringing down that level of bittul, which is, again, according to Rabbi Rashab, it's the Fnei Tzimtzum.
Rabbi, if Hashems Essence took us out of Mitzrayim,
Yeah.
and he also took the fast of the firstborn, so he was able to distinguish between who was the first, who was not the... Why did the firstborns have to fast? What did they do wrong, or what Gezerah was on them? Hashem?
Because they should have been killed also. They were all solid worshippings.
But everybody should fast then. Why is it just the firstborn?
Because Hashem killed the firstborn, not the first everybody. I mean, not everybody, just killed the firstborn. It's an interesting thing. The Welt says of art, when it came to Akedis Yitzchak, he said Yitzchak, yeah? It came to Akedis Yitzchak. So if you look in the pasuk, it says, Vayer Alev Hashem, yeah? And Hashem said, Kach nos binchas yichidchas ashavtes Yitzchak. Hashem himself told Avram Avinu to bring Yitzchak up as a korban, or so he thought, yeah? When it came to stopping the Akedah, it says a Malach of Hashem came and called him Al Tishlach Yotcha Lanar. Why was it when it came to bring him up to kill him, it says Hashem himself had to do it. When it came to save him, a Malach was enough. That's what the pasuk says, right? When it came to take him up and bring him as a korban, it says Hashem Vayeru Evel Hashem. Hashem appeared to him, right? And he came to save him, a Malach. So it says like this. To kill a Jewish kid, only God himself could do that. To save a kid, even a Malach could do it. It's a Chassidish about whatever. So now the question, who's the fourth level of Ani v'lo Acher that we need to exclude? In Elul we mentioned the Yud Gimel Midas Rachman. This is a level, like we said before, learned another Maamarim. Where does tshuva tap into? Like we find the original Yud Gimel Midas Rachmim was when Hashem forgave the Jewish people for the Egel. They did tshuva, And Hashem forgave them. So Yud Gimel Midas Rachmim is a level higher than world, like we learned, that allows the concept of tshuva. Because what is tshuva? Undoing the past. Now how can today undo yesterday?
They go to a higher place.
Because it taps in God. That's Yud Gimel Midas Rachmim. Because if a person, again, fell into the pit, how are you going to get him out? Only by higher super great revelations. Who brought down the Yud Gimel Midas Rachmim? Moshe Rabbeinu. Who caused Hashem to reveal the Yud Gimel Midas Rachmim? Moshe Rabbeinu. Right, Moshe Rabbeinu hurried up and bowed, as the Medrash says, because Moshe Rabbeinu, based on the psukim over there, Moshe Rabbeinu saw that Hashem was kind even to the Rishoyim. So right away he did what he did to get Hashem's Yud Gimel Midas Rachmim. In order, though, once Hashem L'chayra reveals the Yud Gimel Midas Rachmim, why shouldn't it go to the evil forces? If Hashem is revealing a level which is higher than everything, why isn't evil getting it? And that was Gam Kenoyim Bakashas Mesha. V'neflinu ani va'amcha bikesh le'tir shchina. Moshe Rabbeinu begged Hashem that the Shechina should not rest. This is all from Rashi and Chumash. Right, that Shechina shouldn't rest amongst the Yidden. So Hashem said, okay, I'm going to listen. I'm giving in to you also. I'm never going to rest the Shechina on Goyim. But if Hashem wouldn't have promised Moshe Rabbeinu, Shechina wouldn't have rested. Even though Bilam was the filthiest, most impure lowlife that existed. So how can Hashem reveal Nevuah to Bilam? Hashem revealed Nevuah to Bilam. And the Medrash says Bilam was a greater Navi than Moshe Rabbeinu. It says in the Pasuk, "V'kam Navi Eid Bi Yisrael K'Moshe." The Pasuk, when after Moshe Rabbeinu passed away in Zaysa B'rachel, it says there was never a Jewish prophet as great as Moshe Rabbeinu. It doesn't say there was never a prophet as great as Moshe Rabbeinu. So the Medrash says, "V'kam Navi Eid Bi Yisrael K'Moshe Aval B'umas Elam Umaninu Bilam." It's Bilam.
Why was it greater?
Because he knew a certain second that Hashem gets angry that Moshe Rabbeinu didn't know. And he says, look, but what? So why? Because Hashem is called Yachol. And there, Pari, which is the letters Ha'erev, the back of the neck, meaning the external level, Pari had that level also. Pari was Chochmah, just as Moshe Rabbeinu was Chochmah Atzilas. Pari was the ultimate level of Chochmah of Klippa. Pari was the biggest witchcrafter of the whole Egypt, the Medrash says. And Kabbalah explained that Pari, like Moshe Rabbeinu, is the ultimate level of Kedusha. Pari was the ultimate level of Chochmah of Klippa. Chachmei Mitzrayim. There's a level of Amalek also. There are many similar Klippas. Bilam is Amalek, Pari is Amalek. It's all the same level. There's the 7 nations of Canaan, the 7 mitas of evil. Certain things, Amalek, Pari, these are all.
If he was the greatest magician, if he couldn't answer his own dream.
Because a person can't do it himself.
Oh, because it was like
Ein Chavish Matas Hatri, you can't interpret your own dreams. L'chein Avodim, you know the part of Mitzrayim. So Ach B'tzeis and Mitzrayim, when the Yidden went out of Mitzrayim, Ba'avur Zel B'shosh Yesh Matzah. At the time of Matzah Shochas Mechen the Abba, that you bring down the level of Matzah, Chochmah. B'shiasiyas HaMitzvah, then when you eat Matzah as a mitzvah, Erd Abba Nimsha B'pnim V'chin Yisrael. It's an interesting thing. Moshe Rabbeinu, and this some Mepharshim wants to answer, what does it mean, Ani Hu V'lo Yacher? Who's the other level Hashem is excluding? So, it says he is excluding Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu's Moshe Rabbeinu's name is not openly mentioned in the Haggadah except once. in passing. When it says, that in Mitzrayim were 10, Yosef was 40, so over there it says, Vayar Yisrael es Yoda Gedola. Vayaminu Hashem v'Moshe Avdei. That's the only place in the Haggadah where Moshe Rabbeinu's name is mentioned. It's alluded to in a lot of places, but Lepel openly, Moshe Rabbeinu's name is mentioned in the Haggadah only once in passing. He was the hero.
Hashem said, I'm sending you to save the best.
He was a hero. So why isn't he? So there's a lot of humility and all. But the real answer, so this explains. Because people shouldn't think that it was through Moshe Rabbeinu. They shouldn't make him the God that did it. So some of us say, Evil Imam is excluding Moshe Rabbeinu. Not only the Malach, the sort of the earth, Evil Imam, not even Moshe Rabbeinu. It went straight from Hashem. Normally all the Hashpos have to go through Moshe Rabbeinu. This was straight, direct. Non-stop flight. Okay, and it says, so the Rabbi came in the previous Yisrael and didn't come to Chitzaini. And that's what it says, Leave Eloi, Eloi Yesham Lahaya Nigel. Okay, meaning like this. Here the Alter Rebbe is explaining it differently. He's saying, sometimes when Kedusha is revealed, it can have a unique lechitzanium. Evil can get nourishment from it. Because the Kedusha is revealed, and it's a level higher than light and dark, so everybody can get it. Light can get it, dark can get it. Right? And that's what you tell, and initially he says, at the beginning of Adam Ayin Pari b'Mitzrayim, there was a Pari's Eiref, back of the neck, right? The same letters, Pari ha'Eiref, the back of the neck. The Klipa had its koyach from the level of Achurayim. And that's why you tell the Rosh, if you would have been there, you wouldn't have been redeemed.
Any level of Makif is any Makif
can have a connection to evil.
That's why the Goyim are rich and they have everything.
So they say. So the Goyim say.
The Goyim say the same thing about us.
We have some wealthy Jews too.
The Rebbe once said in the Sikha, I remember the Rebbe was smiling when he said it. He said that people have a lot of money and they brag about the money that they have, except to the evil eyes of the IRS.
That's right.
Where over there they conceal, no, I don't have any money. It's like people buy things, they're extravagant and everything, and you ask for the name, I have no money. Well, you just bought this ABCD, I have no money. No, it's like,